Hi, thanks for clicking on my blog. This is Larry Baker, Level 2 Certified Sommelier and Senior Wine and Spirits Specialist for ABC Fine Wines and Spirits. Rough week. Got the box of tissues standing by, so in case if I sound like crap or I have a sneezing fit because I'm under the weather, I'll be, accept me as I am. That's what I told my ex-wife. No, yeah, it's been a rough week, but the show must go on. Today, I want to talk about something that I reiterated for many years, for almost 30 years. If it starts with the word Pinot, P-I-N-O-T, Pinot, Pinot Gris, G-R-A-S, Pinot Blanc, Pinot Noir, especially, in my personal opinion, my expression of my opinion is only drink it from Oregon. Yes, I have been through Pinot Noirs from Paso Robles, Central Coast, Santa Barbara, Kistler, Sea Smokes, cherry tart, cherry pie. I mean, I've tasted almost all of them, and they just don't do it for me. I'm an Oregon Pinophile. But apparently, other professionals in the industry feel the same way. When you open up Wine Spectator's mobile application for vintages, you check California. It'll say what area of California. So you choose Napa Valley. So it just doesn't give you how the weather was in a specific year in Napa Valley. It gives you a choice of grapes. Was it good for Cabernet? Was it good for Chardonnay? Was it good for Zinfandel? Was it good? And the same thing with every area, Paso Robles, Santa Barbara, 5, 6 grapes, varietals for, did I use the word varietals? I know that's not a word, it's a Psalm word, but for that area. And that's pretty much most areas in the country for Burgundy, different regions of Burgundy, different, was it good for whites? Was it good for reds, Pinot Noirs or Chardonnays? But when you click on Oregon in the United States, it comes up no choices. Just says Oregon Pinot Noir because that is what Oregon is famous for. I don't remember the last Santa Barbara Pinot Noir camp, Pinot camp. I don't remember people traveling from as far as New Zealand around the world to be just pray I haven't been invited yet. I hope one day to be invited to Oregon Pinot Camp. Why do they have a Pinot Camp? Because people, the French, when I was in France in Burgundy, people are talking about Oregon, Oregon, Oregon. And people want to travel from China everywhere, wherever possible to see where, in their opinion also, is the finest Pinot Noirs made in, yes, I'm going to go as far as saying the world. Of course, Burgundy is great, but they're meant to be aged and they're not drinkable for 10, 15 years, and they're very expensive. But so Oregon, to me, sharing the same geographical parallel, a latitude of 45-degree parallel with Burgundy, France, to me, makes the finest Pinot Noirs in the world. Okay. Glasses, famous glassware in Sweden, Riedel. Riedel makes Swedish glassware. They have beautiful crystal. I own a bunch of them. They make a Bordeaux glass. They make a Cabernet glass, a Chardonnay glass. They make a Somme collection with every grape you can think. But in conjunction with the Yamhill Valley Winemakers Association, they work together out in Oregon to design a glass for one grape from one place in the entire world. It only works well with one grape from one place. This model is called, not the Pinot Noir glass, they have Pinot Noir glasses. This is the Oregon Pinot Noir model. I don't know of any other glassware company, including my good friend on Twitter, Anna from Juliana Glass, who has wonderful, beautiful glassware. Nobody makes an Oregon Pinot Noir glass. Now I want to speak about a specific vintage in Oregon, which I have always referred to as the Stevie Wonder vintage, because a wonderful talented man, but unfortunately he has no sight, but even he could have made a great Pinot Noir in the year 2012. I'm going back personally since 1988, and I've tasted some even before then at the beginning days of Oregon winemaking and becoming popular little by little. And I don't think I would go as far as saying, as far as what I've tasted, almost 60, 70, maybe 100 years, I don't think there was more of a perfect conditions of weather, drinking great right out of the box, even though some people disagree with that, than 2012. 2012 was the most harmonious weather, the perfect ideal weather conditions that made exactly, coming off a year which I think was the crappiest vintage ever. I get a lot of arguments with there. Wine Spectator agrees with me, but that doesn't mean either one of us are right. But they say they're very fragile, they're very dilute, they're very unripe. 2011 was, to me, one of the lowest rated vintages, one of the most horrible vintages. I've tasted them now. I've heard winemakers, other sommeliers say it has character. Yeah, if you like dirt and wet leaves, that's character, but I don't, I don't like jam bombs either. And I don't think 2012, 14 could be a little fruity, very hot years. 12 was perfection. So now how are you going to get some 12? I bought a bunch of them. I'm left to the last one. I've drank several of these, but this is Josh Bergstrom. I had to buy this on the internet. Single vineyard, the Shea Vineyard, Oregon Pinot Noir. And this is Yamhill Carlton District. Amazing winemaker, amazing winery, but again, it doesn't make a difference. It could say Stevie Wonder wine if it's 2012. I've drank this, it was perfection, but so was every single Oregon Pinot Noir from that year that I've opened up and tasted. Purple Hands, Rocco Private Stash, Bodecker Cellars, the steward, the Yamhill Carlton District. When I worked at restaurants, I took every 2012 from Yamhill Valley Vineyards. I took a bunch of those from Stephen Carey and Ariel, the assistant winemaker there. I have, you name it, Hagen Fig, Willamette Valley Vineyards, Ponzi. Haven't tasted one 2012 that tasted any different than the next one. They're all amazing. But now how do you get some? That's the point of this blog. Not everybody is a lunatic like me and is an Oregon Pinophile. So that includes at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Not every wine specialist is an Oregon Pinophile. So maybe they're selling some California recommending, Pinot Noirs from other places in, Santa Barbara or Monterey or even Napa or Russian River or Carneros and all those areas that people drink Pinot Noirs from. Maybe so there. And little mom and pop stores or big box stores that are out there across the country or in your country, if you're in Toronto and you get Oregon Pinot Noirs, probably the liquor board there is probably doesn't really know what they're doing over there as far as Oregon Pinot Noirs. And most wine lists, restaurants, they just don't even list the vintages. So what I'm saying is, go on a little treasure hunt. Go to your ABC Fine Wines and Spirits in your neighborhood if you're local in Florida, and ask them to show you every Oregon Pinot Noir. I know I still have a couple that I'm hiding for special customers who are Oregon Pinophiles. I have a Rhodes End from Carlton Cellars. I just sold my last two Seven Devils from the Carlton Cellars, 1,536 cases made of the 12s. Cornerstone, I have some 13s that I'm being sent in, but for the special person who really says, I want 2012, I saw your blog. Do you have any hidden? Yes, I saw a Stoller Vineyards. We're on 14, but I had a couple of 12s. Bodecker Cellars, I had an Athena Pinot Noir that the winery doesn't even have any left, but I had 12. That was underneath the bottom. So dig through, look underneath, look on top, see where they bury, because they're going to put the new vintage on top of the old vintage, and maybe they don't even recommend it. And if somebody buys it, they buy it. So you could probably, I've done this before with other wines and other vintages like 2010 Brunello di Montalcino's. I went around to stores with a friend. We rounded up almost 4 cases of 2010 Brunellos when everyone said you're not going to find one. So that's my recommendation. First of all, that how I feel, that's never going to change since my bartending days. Starts with the word Pinot, Gris, Blanc, Noir. Drink it from Oregon, in my opinion. Even my favorite sparkling wine in the world, better than Tramsberg, better than anything I've ever tasted, better than most $200 bottles of champagne, will always be what Roland Sols did at Argyle with his extended tirage, 10 years on the lead. The Argyle extended tirage, at one point, it was making it into the top 5 wines on Wine Spectator's Top 100. It's Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, aged for 10 years and disgorged after 10 years on the lees. This was a $50, $60 bottle of sparkling wine made in Méthode Champenoise that tasted like a $200 bottle of champagne. It was amazing. I still have about 6 bottles from different vintages of that sparkling wine. Take it. You can give me Ace whatever or this or whatever brand. That sparkling wine, extended tirage, blows them all away, in my opinion. 98 points, 99 points. I think one year it scored 100. Crazy. Because it's made with the base of Pinot Noir. Anything, bubbly, rosé, Pinot Noir rosé. But 2012 is the year that you need to be looking for. So do your treasure hunt. Go on internet. You're not going to find it from any other producer but Riedel. Make sure it's Riedel, not something on Amazon that looks like this, like a tulip. And get yourself for 25, 30 bucks, a couple, 60 bucks, it's worth it, and drink every Oregon Pinot Noir in that glass. Try it in a regular glass or a Pinot Noir glass or a Burgundy glass. It will taste hugely different. Only Oregon Pinot Noir, for some reason, will taste different in that glass. It's not psychological, it's real. And find every 2012. I hope I get better. I am sure you hope I get better. I hope I didn't sound too annoying. I didn't need to use any tissues, thank goodness. Remember, check out, it won't tell you vintages, that's the problem, but check out our website if you're locally at www.abcfws.com. But stop by your local ABC in your neighborhood if you're local in Florida. And if you're not, just go to every wine store. You're not going to find on the internet. Go to those wine stores, say, where is your Oregon Pinot Noirs? They might only have 3, 4, but look underneath the pile of 14s or 13s or some early releases of 15s that are coming out right now, and you might hit the jackpot and wind up with 3 cases of the Stevie Wonder vintage of 2012, the best vintage, I'm calling, of the century, of 100 years, okay? So until I see you again next time, hopefully in better condition and in health, have yourself a great day and drink more Oregon Pinot Noirs, especially 2012. What an amazing vintage.